Hi, growth seekers. Is couples counseling the last step before a breakup, or could it be the turning point that changes everything? Well, actually, that all depends on a few crucial things that I've learned as a couples counselor, and I'm going to break them down in this video today. I'm going to talk about the one big mistake that couples make regarding couples counseling. But first, let's go over the 3 important things to consider if you're about to go into couples counseling. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you what I believe are the 2 biggest red flags to be aware of in a couples counselor. But first, let's talk about these important things to consider before you start your work together. So the first question is, ask yourselves, are we ready for this emotional work? Many couples enter into counseling expecting quick solutions, because we don't really know what to expect. We just want things to be better. But it's very often underestimated the emotional depth that is required in couples work. Well, really in any kind of counseling. It can bring up very painful or uncomfortable feelings, and both of you need to be ready, both emotionally and mentally, to engage fully in this work. So when both of you feel ready to discuss past hurts, that's a hard one, and fears, that will help make your work in couples counseling so much more meaningful, and you can experience breakthroughs and deepen your connection. And if you don't feel ready for that work, you might want to consider this. Do each of you need to address individual issues in individual work? So sometimes individual issues like depression or anxiety or trauma or unresolved childhood wounds can significantly impact your relationship. Yet many couples may not recognize that individual therapy is necessary. And you can actually do both. You can do individual work and couples work. But it's important for you to decide what route would be beneficial for both of you. But if you choose to go the route of individual work, there's a huge consideration to consider when you're choosing a counselor, and I'm going to address that in the final red flags to consider. But the next thing to consider is this: do we have a shared goal or different expectations for couples counseling? Sometimes couples assume that they're on the same page, but what is it that you really want from counseling? Are you looking to go in and do the work to grow your connection together, or is one of you already checked out and just seeking validation to end it? And that leads me to the one big mistake that so many couples make about couples counseling, and that is they don't start soon enough. So many wait until their hair is on fire, and couples counseling takes time. It takes time for a counselor to get to know each of you individually and as a couple. And when your hair is on fire, you're feeling so desperate, rightly so, to be seen, heard, and understood, and that takes time. As a couple, you have a history together, and the therapist is starting fresh with both of you. And another thing is that you need time to know if you are with the right therapist for both of you, which is beyond challenging to even think about if you're going in when your hair is on fire. But that doesn't mean that counseling can't help you when you're in crisis. I actually think the best thing that couples can do is that as soon as you become serious about each other, find a couples counselor. You don't have to have serious challenges to start counseling together. The sooner you start, the 3 of you as a couple and the counselor, can get to know each other. And then when something serious surfaces, and unfortunately it will, you already have a relationship with a counselor to get the immediate guidance that you need to pull you forward together. And it will pull you together faster because the groundwork is already laid out. Now, the 2 big red flags. One red flag that could end your relationship, and this is also what I was talking about when you're looking for an individual counselor, is if you don't feel equally supported by the counselor. Even when you go for individual work, that counselor should be supporting both of you as a couple. So a therapist must always come from a place of empathy and open communication and a mutual understanding of each of you. And in couples work, not only does that help you as a couple, but it role models what each of you can do with each other. Lean into that understanding of each other. And the therapist is meant to provide a safe space so that you can express your feelings and concerns. And if you feel singled out as the problem, you won't feel safe to express your feelings and concerns. This doesn't mean that the therapist will not challenge you as an individual so you can grow within your relationship, but you should feel that when you are being challenged, that the counselor is doing so with empathy and understanding. And the final red flag is your counselor telling you that your relationship won't work. I have heard this time and time again, and I think that sometimes the therapist actually may say that because they feel lost. They don't know what to do anymore. I think that being a therapist means that you stay with a couple through times as the therapist not always knowing what to do. I've had that happen, and if you stay with it, things do shift. A good therapist knows that you must learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and comfortable with not always knowing, what to do. The counselor can trust in knowing that something will shift. There's only one reason to break up, and it's not because a counselor told you to do so. And I actually did a video about that. You can check that out here. So just keep in mind that couples counseling is a journey that takes time and patience and emotional readiness. It is not a quick fix, but it is a process that can help you both grow individually and together. And choosing the right therapist is crucial. Someone who, like I said, supports you equally and can guide you with empathy and understanding. And remember, the right therapist will stay with you even through the most difficult times to help you find clarity and connection. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you found this video helpful. And please know that if you subscribe, I want you to know that I appreciate your support, and I hope that my content supports you in return. See you in the next video.